Shalom and welcome back to the Grim Truth. It's been a while, right? About a week, yep. Because I worked for the last several weeks. I worked Mondays, and that was it. Last week I worked Monday, and that was it. The week before that, Monday, and that was it. I mean, it's just been ridiculous for me with my work schedule. But I am scheduled to work tomorrow, so this Monday won't be my only day of the week. But yeah, that's why I haven't posted much. It's really difficult to make videos at my house just because it's chaotic there, and yeah, sound quality would be horrible. But other than that, yep. Today was an interesting day. I got to work at 4:15 this morning. That was horrible because I only slept for 4 hours. But why not? Who needs sleep, right? Sleep is just a luxury that not everyone has. Tomorrow I will be at work at 5 a.m., so that gives me an extra hour to sleep. And I might get 5-6 hours tonight. Maybe I'll just pass out on the couch a little earlier if the chaos dies down a little. But yeah, it's just been, it's that kind of job. The construction industry in my area has really fallen off, and that's a concern for many reasons, but one concern is my employment, because dump trucks rely on construction, because that's what we do. We bring essentially construction material to construction sites. It requires gravel brought in, sometimes dirt brought in, sometimes dirt brought out before concrete can be poured, because they have to build a foundation, and that's where dump trucks come in when it comes to construction sites and construction jobs. So that being said, when the construction dies down, the truck die down, dump trucks that is. The asphalt plant we stockpile also relies on road construction and other construction projects that require asphalt, parking lots and such, and that dies down as well. It's been very rainy, the rainiest summer we've had in quite a long time, as I recall. It rained today. It's going to rain tomorrow. There's a 50% chance or better chance of rain all week. That being said, I wasn't driving a dump truck today. I was driving a day cab pulling a flatbed trailer. We went and picked up a load of bricks way out by the Illinois state line and drove it way north of Indianapolis, which wasn't bad. Worked 8.5 hours, started at 4:15, got off. It's 1 p.m. now, or just before 1 p.m., and I'm headed home. So that's not too bad. I like getting off earlier. Gives me more time to procrastinate about going to sleep and spend time with my family, read my Bible, which I actually read a bit of it today because I was riding in the truck for half the day because my boss was in the truck with me, as I've never pulled a flatbed before. I've pulled things similar to flatbeds, but that's a long story, but wasn't flatbeds. So I was doing a little training on how to pull a flatbed trailer today. It was what do they call that? A split axle step flatbed. It's got like the raised part in the front. Step something or another. I don't remember off the hand, but split axle, where if you know anything about trucks, regular box trailers, the dry vans have a tandem axle, which is 2 tires, and those 2 tires at the back of the trailer can actually be slid back or forward to balance the weight better so that you don't have too much weight on either the tandem axles or the drive axles of the truck, which is actually law. You have to keep it at a certain weight. I think it's 34,000 pounds or under 34,000 pounds on each one of those axles. So you move those back axles on a trailer forward and backward to balance that out. So a split axle trailer has a set of tires at the very back of the trailer, and then there's a huge gap, and then another set of tires. And the difference between that weight-wise is it helps distribute the weight better on a flatbed trailer. There's a lot into that. You can look that up if you care. But I can tell you one thing, it drives differently. It's harder to pull a split axle trailer because it's essentially the pivot point of the trailer is the very rear of the trailer. And when you're pulling a tandem trailer, regular dry vans, reefer trailers, things like that, then the pivot point is wherever those tandems are set. So if they're set all the way forward, you have a very good pivot point. If they're set all the way back, you have a bad pivot point. And that being said, the split axle's similar to driving a tandem trailer with the tags or with the tandems all the way back. And it's just, yeah, I have not had enough sleep. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and about 400 milligrams of caffeine. I know this because I've had 2 cups of coffee, which is about 90 to 100 milligrams each. And I had a energy drink that was 200 milligrams of caffeine when I was feeling like I was in the passenger seat. It was 9 a.m. and I felt like I was going to pass out in that seat, so I popped open that energy drink I had brought with me and chugged it. And yeah, that woke me up real quick. I was, you know, felt like I don't know. I guess I feel like what a crackhead would feel like, or a cokehead, but I'm not neither one of those things. Have never been one of those things. Have never tried any of that stuff, so I'm just assuming sugar is made from the same plant, right? I think. Anyway, back to construction. Construction jobs in my site or in my state are very, very slow. Very slow. Some people are saying it's because of the election year. I think it's more along the lines of the current economy. It's causing construction to slow way down. This is the slowest year of dump trucks running and construction projects in this state since, I don't know, 2020, I would guess. It's so slow that it's kind of concerning. So it's not just the construction when it comes to the trucking aspect that's really slow, but there's a lot of trucking companies laying off drivers. Lots of them. Drivers, they're canceling contracts they have with their subcontractors, which are usually other trucking companies. There's just not a lot of freight being moved across the country. Well, there is still a lot, but it's not nearly as much as it has been compared to previous years prior to 2020. It's just nowhere near what it was. So that being said, everything you own, everything you have, everything you eat has been on a truck, unless you're on a farm or a homestead and you grow your own food. That being said, if you go to the grocery store, it comes on a truck. Okay, so that is a problem because food production is down. Production all across the country is down. Our production rates, I can guess the percentage, I don't know it offhand, but it's way down. So construction projects, production, way down. People aren't buying as much stuff due to the economy. So things like Amazon that deliver freight across the country, J.B. Hunt, they transfer freight across the country on trains and on trucks. Same as Amazon, trains and trucks. There's just not as much. There's not as much freight moving, so there's not as many trucks running. There's not as much need for truck drivers. That's a problem. And that's a problem for everybody. If you watch Bear Independent, which I highly recommend, I think it was Friday. Last Friday, he did a brief. He was talking a lot about the power grid. A lot about it. He has a lot of expertise in the power grid. And go watch that if you haven't. But essentially, the power grid is not being maintained like it should be. There is not enough maintenance being done on the getting to be very old grid that we have running all the electricity for the whole country. And there's a high likelihood that it's going to start to fail in a major capacity. Not going to say when, because I don't know. Nobody knows when, but there's already reports of failures happening throughout a lot of areas. If you're experiencing brownouts, which is when the power goes off for a certain amount of time, it's probably being done intentionally by the power companies to conserve energy, because if the power company uses too much power and it shuts down or fries their, whatever, then it's going to be a long time before that stuff comes back up. If for some reason we blew out some of these major transformers or substations across our country by way of overuse, poor maintenance or some form of attack, it would be years to get the power grid back online. Years. A minimum of 3, and that's pushing it. I mean, that's being hopeful. A minimum of 3, if you're hopeful. So, that being said, I hope everybody is prepping. You need food, you need water, you need ammunition to protect your food, water, and family. And if you read the scriptures, the Bible, if you believe in Yah, which I highly recommend, you believe in Yah, I greatly recommend it, then yeah, you should definitely read through Revelation about how there's going to be a famine of the Word, a famine of the Bible, essentially. You're not going to be able to find them. There's going to be plagues, famine, and war throughout the world at some point. We're already kind of starting a famine. We're looking at a famine. And whenever it comes in threes, and yeah, anytime there's plague, there ends up being famine and then war. And anytime there's war, there ends up being famine and then plague. And anytime there's, they all go together and they all feed off of each other. So you should definitely prepare for war, for famine, and plague. Those should be your prep, your essentials right there. That's in your mind, what we're prepping for. War, famine, plague. War, famine, plague. It's just, that's it. It's a trifecta. And patterns in the Bible, if you read it, you will see those patterns. War, famine, plague. Plague, famine, war. Famine, war, plague. It just goes together. That being said, believe in Yah. Why not? What do you got to lose? Right? You got a lot to gain. I can tell you what you got to lose. Deuteronomy 28 tell you all about what you got to lose. Ooh, I kind of punched it there. I squealed the tires. That's not good. Need to really fix that traction control sensor. Oh well. But that's enough of me rambling for today. I'm going to be working tomorrow. I'll be making another one of these videos tomorrow. When I end up in the truck by myself, I'll go back to posting shorts. And I haven't really got any good footage on my dash cam because I haven't worked enough to get good footage. And Mondays are usually easy days of traffic. Fridays are usually when you get good footage. And I haven't worked a Friday in a while. Well, that being said, I probably will get back to that when I'm back in the truck by myself, because it's kind of awkward when I bring my dash cam and I'm yelling at my dash cam to save the video every 10 minutes. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Shalom. I'll see you tomorrow, most likely.